Good evening, Alejandro. Thanks again for being here. Let's begin the class, please. And we're going to start this new course together. All right, this is going to be A9, and we're going to join Pearson and everything today. So how are you? Is everything all right?
Yes, everything all right. Good
Great.
evening.
That's great to know, Leandro. Good evening. So let's begin, please, with today's, again, activities by first doing the things that we did on the first class. I'm sending the link first to join the new course on first Google Classroom. You can find the link on the chat. So go there, please, and join the course. Again, you have access over there to all the platforms, or actually, sorry, to all the presentations, to everything we do in class, and also the examples that we write. Okay, and
Okay.
also you need to write, or sorry, you need to join the new course on Pearson. The ID is already on Google Classroom. You can take a look at the post, but I'm also copying and pasting that on the chat. So you have access to the new ID. And with that, please, I need you to go to Pearson and follow the same steps that you followed in the previous course. You have to go to settings, join a new course, right? You copy and paste that one. And again, you say, don't transfer grades with me. Okay, so let's do that, please. Tell me if you have any questions or problems, because I need to assign the first unit now, and then we can start with the first lessons today.
Okay.
All right. So just in case, I'm going to here give you access to what you have to do one more time. And with that, we should be okay. Okay, so I'm going to be waiting. You tell me when you are on both platforms, and I assign everything.
Okay. Sorry, person. Where is the option to join a course?
Okay, yes, can you hear me? You are a little bit laggy. I don't know if it's my connection or your connection, but let me know, please. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I hear you well.
Okay, so you joined with your ID, right? You have your username, password, the same username, the same password. And once you join like this, you go to this, right, to the purple product. you join there and go directly to settings, okay, over here. So imagine you are here. Once you open this, you have a new window. And when the window charges, right, when it's ready for you, you go directly to settings over here. All right, and remember that when you go to settings, if it's not here where you can see it with me, it's going to be down below. Okay, it's going to be here or it's going to be down there. Okay, join a course. I don't know if you found it. Let me know, please.
Okay. Join a course. Okay, I find
There
it.
you go. That's great. And once you click there, you copy and paste the ID, right? It's in the chat. And remember, you're going to see a question. You have to say, don't transfer grades with me, right? And then you join the course.
Okay, join. Don't transfer grades. Yeah?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Good. So you should be here. Let me verify just in case, because as I have to assign this now, yes, there's one person. So this is you, right? I think it's student one. Let me just verify. Yes. So very good. Now the same, right? We're going to follow the same logic. Leandro, you know that this is going to be 4 units one more time, 2 classes per unit, right? And remember, you're going to have 1 day apart from those 2 days to finish your assignments. Okay, as you're going to have actually a weekend, you're going to have today, this weekend, a Monday, and even Tuesday to finish that. All right, but on Tuesday we start even unit number 2. Okay, so let's do it, please. The same. You know how this works. I'm going to assign first the unit, and you know what I'm not going to assign. And in the meantime, once again, if you have questions or anything, you're going to let me know, but it works exactly the same as we did the previous course.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have questions. I don't have any
Yes.
questions.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we're starting today, and again, you're going to have until Tuesday. Okay. So for this first unit, you have a lot of time. But remember that on Tuesday, we start the second unit. Okay, so try to finish before so that you even have more time for the next unit. And again, 2 attempts per assignment. That's it. And I'm also going to assign the quiz. Okay, so here we have it. And it's going to be the same, right? You're going to have the same time for the quiz. It's going to be until Tuesday, and it's going to be 50 minutes. All right, so we are good then with Pearson. You are already on Google Classroom. You are already here. You have all the assignments that you have to complete. So it means that we can start. The first thing we're going to do, please, is going to be the following, Leandro. This time we're going to start with a writing activity to see how much you remember or how much you can use certain words. Now we have a new document because this is a new course. So you're going to find the link in the chat one more time. And we're going to work in unit 1, right? The same as we did. Now you're going to write like one more time something, but this time in 2 paragraphs. Okay, this is what we're going to do now. 2 paragraphs. Because we're going to try to connect ideas even more. And we're going to do that by using some connectors. And that's what I'm going to make you use. Okay, so you have the link in the chat. And this is going to be the structure that you're going to use. All right, so first you're going to start with ideas like to start with. After that one, you have a complete idea. Okay, complete idea. To start with, you give me a complete idea. You don't have to do it like you see here that I'm going to show you, but more or less you're going to follow this. Okay, you start with something like that. Also, comma, complete idea, right? And right? You use comma and complete idea. And you can organize that in the way you want. However, remember, however is also transition with comma, right? Period, however, complete idea, right? That's how you need to work over there. And then let's say something for result, therefore. So we have 1, 2, but this is like one sentence, 1, 2, 3. So let's add more. Okay, here to add more ideas, you're going to say additionally. Okay, one more time, complete idea. And to finish something, you're going to say therefore. That is like as a result to finish this. Okay, to complete something or to have a conclusion. Therefore, complete idea. All right, so this is going to be the first paragraph. And again, you don't have to do it like this, not exactly like this, but you have to try to organize your paragraphs in this way. The second part, all right, you can say to continue. Sorry, my caps were on. Okay, to continue, and you're going to change some words so that you know that to continue is like afterwards, besides, all right, is like also, to add information. Okay, also you add, besides you add information. And here you can try to use something different. Okay, you can try to use or. Again, if it's possible. Then instead of however, you can use something similar to however that is nonetheless. Okay, it's the same as however, contrast. You can use these words in writing exercises. And instead of this, to add up, the same idea as additionally, all right, to add up. And instead of therefore, you're going to say to conclude. All right, now this is for you to use certain words and to organize your ideas better. Again, you are going to try to use past because I believe that that's usually, no, actually, let's do the following. All right, let's write present ideas in the first part and try to give me a story of yours, or just try to tell me a routine that you have or a routine of someone that you know that has. Okay, so the first paragraph is going to be present, anything that comes to your mind in present. All right, and my recommendations, again, you can talk about habits and routines. Okay, that's going to be the first part. And in the second part, it's going to be past. All right, past. And again, here you can tell me about an experience or some memories that you have, right? That's going to be it. All right, so I don't know if you have any questions about this activity. It's to see what things you need to connect your ideas, what things you need to practice. And this course, we can practice those details. All right, so do you have any questions before starting with this?
No, I don't have questions.
Okay, let's do it then, please. Remember, this time, 2 paragraphs, a minimum of 5 complete ideas per paragraph. So we're going to divide this activity in 2 parts. First, only write the first paragraph. Okay, begin with that one. You're going to have 6 minutes. And after the 6 minutes, I'm going to give you some corrections. Then you're going to write the second paragraph and you're going to have one more time 6 minutes, and you have to take into account the corrections that I made. All right, so let's do it, please. 6 minutes only for the first paragraph, please, to start. Do it over here, please, in unit number 1.
I finished.
All right, good.
Sorry
So we
for this.
use some extra time, but it's good because that's what we need to get used to. All right, we have to get used to this writing, to using these words, right? We have to get used to using these words, to using the punctuation marks that we have over there, and to see how we're going to organize our ideas. All right, so I'm going to give you again corrections, recommendations, and then you're going to go to the next part to write the second paragraph with all these observations, all right? So first, when you have to start with, actually, to start with is to start directly with something that you want to tell, right? So you can start first by saying, now I am going to tell about my daily routine during the pandemic, right? Period. Then you say to start with, comma, and you start telling, right? I wake up and so on. So this actually has to be past, right? Because you're telling this as the pandemic. So here actually we have to use past. So I'm going to, all right, or we're going to do this together. We're going to make this past, and the next one has to be present. All right, so in the next paragraph, you're going to talk about your present, your routine. Okay, any routine that you have or a routine that you know. Okay, so let's begin. This is not going to be here then. You're just going to introduce the idea that you're going to talk about your daily routine during the pandemic. Okay, so that's what you can say. All right, I am going to talk about my daily routine during the pandemic. Okay, that's the introduction to what you're going to do, or it can be just a title, right? My daily routine during the pandemic. It can be the title of your essay, or in this case, your paragraph. Now here you can use it. Start with and comma. Okay, so like that, it's going to be to start with comma and then the complete idea, right? So I'm going to mark it like that. So to start with, a comma, we we need to remember how that time was, right? So we need to remember this is like embedded question, right? So how was that time is question, but in embedded question, how that time was, all right? Or what that time was. But here, this is going to be like inverted. Or even if you want to make it more natural, because now it's correct, but you can say what that time was like. Okay, so to be like something is like in terms of appearance, but now it's good. Now, to start with, we need to remember how that time was. Good, semicolon, then after the semicolon, just lowercase letter. The first thing I did, remember here, actually you can use what we learned. How do you talk about a routine in the past? Remember, that's the lesson that we learned in the previous course. What expression do you use for a
Yeah,
routine?
I I think in that, but you tell me that first paragraph is in present, and I make that, but I don't know
Yes, but
if that is correct.
okay, yes, but actually, if you analyze, when you say this is past already, right? Did is past. So we have to do it past. And again, why? Because as we're talking about the pandemic, this has to be past, right? But I understand here, this seems, but actually, if you say even wake up here, this is still past. Why? Because your main verb is in past, right? Did. All right. But the difference between did and used to is that did is only one time, right? So when you say the first thing I did is only one time. But when you say I used to do this, it's every time in the past, right? But now, again, we're going to do it in this way because in past is going to be better now that this is a routine that you don't have, right? So the first thing I used to do, it is going to be in this case, I used to do, right, was, and here, here, this is a rule we're going to learn later on, was waking up. when you use that one, and again, they want to change to wake up, but this has to be gerund because this is an activity. All right, an activity is always going to be remembered when they are the subject or the object of something. Okay, so the first thing that you do or that you did or that you used to do was waking up. And changing over here is going to be to follow the same idea and changing my clothes, right? Also, this is going to be in the next part because as you can see here is period, also comma, complete idea. So this also is going to be part of the next idea. Period, also, right, comma, so let me just mark that one, please. Also, and again, as now we're changing everything to past, if this was your routine, I think it's going to be a good idea to use used to one more time, right? So you can say, also I used to clean up my bedroom. And that's the end of the idea, right? That's one idea. Therefore is the beginning of another idea, right? After no, because therefore is like as a consequence, you are adding that. So you can simply say therefore, but therefore here, you can only use therefore if you're going to talk about a consequence. So as you're not talking about a consequence, then you're not going to use therefore, you directly are only going to use the expression that you have there after that. And it's also with a period. Period after that, comma, right? So as you can see, anytime that you have something that is not your subject, you have to use a comma. Okay, so here you have to use a comma one more time. And again, because we are talking about a past routine, in this case, we're going to use used to one more time. I used to brush my, this is without the H, and the H is here. And remember that teeth is irregular, right? So you don't say teeth, it's only teeth, right? So one tooth and two teeth, right? Without the S. And finally, all right, here you can use commas if you're going to use and. You can use and, comma, finally, comma, and one more time. I used to eat my breakfast too. And here you can say just to study on my computer, right? Or to pass virtual classes, something like that. All right, because instead of virtual study, you can say to study on my computer again, to, or again, you can say to pass some virtual classes. Okay, or online classes that also going to work. So that's my correction in this first part in over there, Leandro. Now you're going to take these corrections into account and you have to follow the same logic, but this time talk about a present routine, right? And instead of to start with, you're going to say to continue, right? Imagine that you were saying something, all right? Or you can even to make it more similar, we're going to not to continue, we're going to say to commence. It's like you're starting a new paragraph. Okay, to commence is the same as to start with. Okay, so to commence, comma, complete idea, period, semicolon, besides, comma, complete idea, period, semicolon, or in this case, comma, or complete idea, period, nonetheless, a contrast, okay, something that is contrast, complete idea, period, to add up, comma, complete idea, and then to conclude also with semicolon or period. All right, but let's see how it goes. I want to know first if you have any questions about this first part, Leandro. Let me know, please.
No, I don't have questions.
Okay, so let's use, please, one more time, 6 minutes. If you use more time, there is no problem. And let's write this second paragraph. All right, let's try to use the words that we have over here. And one more time, this is going to be this time in present. Okay, so we're going to invert the roles. This is going to be present, right? And this was past. Let's do it, please. And we're taking that time.
I finished.
Great, thank you very much. Let's take a look at that then, Leandro, and we're going to go to the first lesson that is very short because it's something that we did in the previous course. That's why we're practicing today with this, because it's related to past, it's related to connecting ideas. And if we have this clear, then the lesson is going to be very short, all right, and very clear. So the first thing, please, I'm going to ask you is to read. Let's read the second paragraph, please.
Okay. I know my routine is different. To commence, I wake up in the mornings and directly I brush my teeth. After that, I change my clothes. Nonetheless, here my routine have a big change. To conclude, I go to straight to the university. I go straight to the university, and after my first class, I take my breakfast.
All right, thank you very much, Leandro. Now let's take a look at the details, all right? Now again, there are going to be a few details that I'm always going to be repeating and you're going to be memorizing that. For example, this is not obligatory, all right? But if you want to be very formal, remember you can have a double comma over there. Why? Because now it's not your subject. Your subject is my routine, right? Subject, verb is complement different, right? So this can be an option. It's not obligatory, but it's if you want to be very formal. Now, this here, it's obligatory. If when you set a comma over here, is incorrect. Why? Because this is the end of your complete idea, and now you're going to start another idea that is not connected with and, or, but, yet, so. When it's not connected with those words, you cannot use a comma. So here, instead of that, again, you can use period or semicolon, right? Remember, semicolon is that one over there, period and comma, or period. Okay, one of those. We're going to use period because it's better in English to use period. And then here, comma, good, capital letter, right? So to commence the first part, I wake up in the mornings and directly, okay? So if you want to use this word and, you have two options. You can use another complete idea, subject, verb, complement, or you can directly use the verb. So in order not to use another comma one more time, you're going to use directly here this one over here. Okay, so I wake up in the morning and brush my teeth, so that you don't use any other punctuation rule. Okay, because if you use an I one more time, you need a comma. But here you don't need. Why? Because I is the only subject, wake up is for I, and brush is for I. So you don't need a comma over there. Then semicolon, great. After that, comma, right? After that, comma, I change my clothes. I change my clothes. Actually, if you realize, that's your complete idea, period. So here again, you cannot use comma. It's going to be incorrect. You have to use one more time, right? Semicolon or a period, right? So you can use semicolon one more time. There's no problem over there. So nonetheless, I'm marking all the words that are connectors. Okay, so think like that. There are exceptions, but try to think like that. Subject, verb, complete idea. So semicolon or period. Subject, verb, complete idea. Why? Because the complement is even optional, right? When you say do it, that's a complete idea, right? Do it, because it's you do it. When you say she eats, that's a complete idea. So you need period or semicolon. When you say I go, that's a complete idea, right? But you can complement that with something, but that's a complete idea. So nonetheless, here my routine has, so when you say here, right, perhaps instead of that one, you can say now or something like that, right? Or nonetheless, now my routine has a big change, right? Because my routine is one thing, third person, and in third person is he, she, it, has, right? So now, again, comma, my routine has a big change, right? And again, that's the end of the complete idea. My routine, subject, has, verb, a big change, right? Now here you need period or semicolon. We're going to use a period. And then the last part, right? To conclude, comma, I go straight to the university and good, you have a comma over here, that's great. And after my first class, good, this is, if you analyze, we use commas because you are giving information that is not the main idea. And after my first class, now the complete idea, I take my breakfast, right? So that's the complete idea. And after my first class, it's a extra information. That's why it's with commas. Okay, why? Because the best order for this one, Leandro, that's why you use commas, is to say, and I take my breakfast after my first class. If you say it like that, you don't need commas. But if you say after my first class at the beginning, you have to use it with commas. All right, and that's it. That's it in general. All right, in general, one more time. Here they want to, no, that's a big change. It's okay. That's my only thing. In general, it's very good. It's just these punctuation rules that we're going to practice, some little details with conjugations and, well, the things that you're seeing now. But I don't know if you have any questions about that, Andros, because in this course, I'm going to make you write more paragraphs and you have to use those rules.
Yeah, no, I don't have questions. I think that is my problem, that that the practice, and that I need to practice more these rules and punctuations.
Good. Yes, and it's great. Again, when I'm telling you here, what I'm teaching you here, actually, this is kind of advanced, right? But I'm showing you starting now because I want you to get used to doing this, all right? Because if I wait until the last course and I only show you this 1 month, or actually one course, is not going to be enough, right? So we have to try to start working now, and you're going to improve and improve and improve until the end of the course. All right, so good, it's great. Again, it's good that you see it in that way, because I know that this can be boring and this can be heavy sometimes, but it's good, right? If you want to have a good score in any test that you want, the TOEFL, Cambridge, or anything you want, or if you want to study abroad, you really need to write this well, right? Because they always ask you for essays, for letters, and you need to write it like that. So that's it. We have only 10 minutes, but we are going to review this that we know, Leandro. That's why, again, I use this time for that one. You know the past continuous, right? I was eating, and you know how to use it with when, right? Remember, you were doing something when something interrupted that action, right? So I was studying for the exam when my friend called me, right? So it's the same. As I told you, we did it. So it's going to be mainly a review. Let's read one more time, please, these two ideas, Leandro.
Okay, let's analyze. I was running last night at 8 p.m. I ran last night at 8 p.m.
There you go, right? And if you remember the difference, or actually try to tell me, please, what do you remember that the difference between I was running and I ran is in this situation there? What do you say?
And in the and I was running is the is during the action, and the second one is and the second one is for the action has complete, I think.
Okay, good. Yes, actually, it goes there, and it's great. The way you're telling me, I believe you have the difference there. It's good. I'm going to help you with some extra details, but what you mainly told me is correct, right? I was running, is an action in progress in the past, right? That was taking place as other actions happened, right? Like in the middle of that action, right? So you say, right, I was studying when you called me, when she came right to my house, or when something happened, right? But when you say I ran last night at 8 p.m., yes, it's definite, it is punctual, and it's finished, right? Actually, here we consider that it started at 8 p.m., right? But this is a finished action and it's very punctual, right? And remember, you use the past continuous whenever it's a context, and you use the past simple or the simple past whenever you talk about a sequence of actions, right? So, for example, if I ask you this, try to ask this, or sorry, try to answer this, please, Leandro, using the simple past, it means this, and tell me 3 activities that you did yesterday in a sequence. Okay, like first, I went to the store to buy some milk. After that, I visited my friends, right, to have a conversation, right? And finally, I returned home to study for my test, right? That's my example. So, what do you say? What is something that you did yesterday? 3 things, please, in a sequence that you can tell me in past.
Um, okay, first I went to my friend's house. Then after that, we went to the or go. I don't know. Went to the Alacitas ferry. I
Fair, fair.
uh, Alacitas fair, and after that, I returned to my home.
Okay, good. And in that question that you had, if it's a past story, then it has to be went. All right, went. Now, if you want to vary, first you said 2 times went, right? What is another verb that you can use instead of went to say the second action, Leandro? Just to have different verbs.
Mm, I don't know. I think that the first could be met. We met in his house.
Okay, good. Yes, great. That's a great change. Yes, I agree with you. Perhaps it's better to make a change in the first one. Very good. So first, I met my friends, right, at their house to do something, right? After that, we went to right the Alecitas Fair, and finally, or at the end, right, or to finish, we did this action. Right, so it's good. I think it is good. So whenever you have a list of things in past, you have to use the simple past. Okay, I went, I ate, I visited, I traveled, I wrote, I heard, I listened to, and so on and so forth. All right. Now, again, I think I'm having problems, but let me know. Can you hear well what I'm saying, Leandro? Or is it a little bit laggy because of the internet connection?
Yes, it's a little bit lag, but I understand.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
understanding.
Okay, that's important. Okay, but in case it's going to be too laggy, right? Like I'm like, you let me know, right? Because I have to be sure that it is clear. All right. So good. That's one. Now, running, remember, is the context of something. Okay, so you're going to tell me 2 examples. First, I'm going to tell you one. So I can say, right? My friends and I, okay, my friends and I were we're driving to the new I don't know what could it be, to the new mall. Okay, so my friends and I were driving to the new mall when we saw a very dangerous accident. Okay, so one more time, my friends and I were driving to the new mall when we saw a very dangerous accident. Okay, so that's my example. Following the same logic, please give me two ideas like that, Leandro. A context with ing, the past continuous, and something that happened and interrupted with the simple past.
Okay. I was in the supermarket and I bought chocolate and one chocolate bar.
Okay, good.
Um,
Good. Go ahead, please. Continue.
it's a little bit lag, little
Okay.
bit lag.
Give me a second, please. I'm going to turn off my camera. All right. I'm going to see if that's going to help. Also, you can just for this time try to turn off your camera. Let's see if it's better. Okay. So can you hear me better? I'm also going to actually do this. Okay, just until it's more
Yeah,
stable. Okay. So how can
it's
you hear me, Leandro? Is it better or the same?
it's much better.
Okay, so good. The example was good, but when you say when I was at the supermarket, right? I believe, and I bought is good, but that's like a sequence, right? You're telling me I was here and I bought, right? So first I was there, then I bought, and it's correct. But to give this sentence that I told you need to tell me something in the past continuous first that was happening, and then something that interrupted that action, right? Like the example, I'm going to make it shorter. It's going to be my friends and I were driving, right? We're driving, that's past continuous. We're driving to the new mall when we saw an accident, right? So first we were driving and then suddenly we saw an accident. Okay, so following that logic, let's try to give one more time. What example can you give me?
Okay. With the same context, I was in the supermarket and and I was shopping in the supermarket when I see how do you say descuento?
Discount.
Uh, when when I see a discount in when I see a discount, it's all.
Okay, good. Only one correction. It is good. It is great. So I was shopping, right? In the supermarket, you can say inside. It's correct. But remember, see is present. What is the past of see?
Yeah, I don't remember the the past of this verb.
Don't worry, it's in the chat. You pronounce that like saw. Okay, it's in the chat. SAW. SAW. Okay, so it's going to be I was shopping in the supermarket or at the supermarket when I saw a discount. Okay, so let's repeat that one more time, please.
Okay, I was shopping in a supermarket when I was saw when I saw a discount.
Exactly. You don't need the verb to be. When I saw. Correct. Very good. One more, please, Leandro. This time, give me a different one. One more example, and we finish with that today.
Okay. My parents and I went to the no. My parents and I was eating in a restaurant when we when um, we broke a bottle.
All right. Okay, it's
Broke?
good. Huh?
I don't know.
Broke is broke. Only broke. And the first part, only remember if you say my
Okay.
parents and I, was is for singular, the plural of was is were, right? So you have to say my parents and I
Okay.
were eating in a restaurant when we broke a bottle. Okay, so let's repeat everything one more time, please.
Okay. My parents and I were eating in a restaurant when we broke a bottle.
Very good. Okay, that's perfect. So there you go. Look, actually, the lesson the lesson is clear, but we need to practice a little bit more to be sure. And we're going to do that on Monday. All right, Monday is going to be for us to practice a little bit, and we continue with the 2 lessons. But that's it for now. Sorry for this inconvenience, Leandro, about my internet connection. I don't know what happened, but we got to see what we had to see. I don't know if you have any questions or comments before finishing.
No, I don't have questions, and sorry for for this inconvenience.
No, so sorry to you, Leandro. I think your connection is good. It's my connection. All right, my connection is not working good. All right, so thanks for your patience. I'm going to send the survey, okay, the questions, and that's it. When you answer those questions, that's it, Leandro. Again, thanks for your patience, for working with me like this. Have a good night, have a good weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
Okay, thank you. See you on Monday.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Goodbye.